Mm. Hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. All right, let's see. What are we doing tonight? We are doing guide 2A and 3. Hmm, Let's see. Guide 2A. And if you guys are here, give me a shout out. Mhm. Hmm. I give you guys some time to get on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Hello. All right. Awesome, Mystic Soul. Hello, everybody. So, we are going to be talking about guide 2A and 3 tonight. And that is starting on page 64. All right. How's everybody doing? How's your Saturday going? My Saturday started out a little busy because I was open today and I took signings. So, I only did 2 appointments, but the rain definitely makes you tired. It makes you tired. So, hopefully you guys can't hear too much of the background. My son is watching YouTube and he's watching all of the 90s hits, R&B. Compliments of his mommy. So yeah, going great. All right, I'm glad to hear that. Is anyone else here? I see I got 5 people watching, but I only got 2 people talking to me. So please definitely let me know that you're here and that you're watching. Say something, say hello at least. So, like I said, today, going over guide 2, and that guide covers how to facilitate a real estate closing as a notary public. All right. This is the guide where people are just so nervous for nothing. Okay. Now, the one thing you need to know when you're facilitating closings as a notary public, that is what you're doing. Okay. That's it. They do not expect for us to come in there and be a human dictionary, knowing the definition of every document, the why, the how, the when, the where. Okay. We're literally just there to show them where they're signing and to make sure that they agree to the terms of the transaction that they are entering into. Okay. They want to know their interest rate is the same thing as discussed. They want to know that the amounts are the same as discussed. They want to know that the term is the same as discussed. Is the property correct? And all of that. That's it. They don't need to know, the definitions of everything. Okay. Because that is where even I, got nervous. Like, I don't know if I could do this because what if I don't remember what this document is? They don't care. Okay. A lot of signers that I come across, they literally are just done with the whole process and they just want to sign and they want you to leave. Okay. So let's get started. All right. So facilitating a real estate closing is very crucial, all right, for a notary. And it's important that you ensure that the process goes as smooth as possible. Okay. I don't know if any of you have ever purchased a home, but sometimes this going through the whole process can be a bit stressful. Okay. So they don't need the notary to bring upon more stress than what they've already endured while going through this whole process. Okay. Remember, legally, it is our job to verify the identities of the signers, make sure that the signers before us are the names of the signers that are supposed to be signing the document, make sure everyone who's signing is present, make sure those IDs are valid, make sure everybody is aware of what's going on and do they understand what they're signing. Okay, because even though you were hired to go and do a signing, if this signer does not agree with what they're signing and they don't understand it, we should not be putting our names and stamps on these documents, okay? You need to refer them to the people who drafted the documents, the people who they are working with, to make sure that they agree and understand everything that's going on before we proceed, okay? We should not just be doing this because we're here to get some money, okay? Because legally, that can go so wrong for us later on down the line. If for some reason these signers decided that they wanted to take this to court, okay? Prepare, prepare, prepare. You want to gather all the necessary documents related to the real estate transaction, okay? Usually, if a client calls you or a signing service has hired you, you want to make sure you have all the documents. You want to make sure you review the documents, all right? Because ever so often, I'll get a signing where all the documents weren't present or they're missing some documents, okay? And right off the top, you're not gonna know what documents are missing, you know what I'm saying? But um, sometimes they'll come back and say, "Oh, we forgot this document. We're gonna send this to you last minute," and you may have already printed out the documents. Or what if they need to change the terms, change the interest rate, anything like that? Now they got to redraft documents, and you've printed all these documents already. So make sure that once you are given the appointment, if documents are not available, you still want to call the client. All right. Call the signer. You want to confirm the appointment details. We want to know, well, basically, we want to introduce ourselves first. You're introducing yourself. Hi, my name is so and so. I'm a notary public scheduled to meet with you to sign your closing documents. And you want to pause. Okay. Make sure you got the right person before you start spewing out all these details, right? Oh, yeah, they told me you were going to be calling. Perfect. I'm just calling to confirm that we are going to be meeting on so and so date at this time. Yeah, that's the time I said. All right. Just want to make sure that all signers will be present. Make sure that everybody has a valid identification. If there are any monies that you need to provide, Make sure you have the check already ready or certified funds, or if you need to do a wire and need to give me proof of that, make sure you have all of that before I get there. Do you have any questions? If they have any questions, they'll ask you. If you can answer them, answer them. If not, you need to refer them back to the person who they are working with, who is usually title company or their realtor or whatever. Okay. You want to make sure that you have everything you need on your end that is not going to be provided to you. Make sure you got ink pens, guys. I cannot stress enough how important it is for you to make sure you have ink pens. Okay. You need a blue pen. Okay. And sometimes you may need a black, depending on what the instructions are that was given to you. That's another thing. Please read the instructions that are given to you. Okay. I did a signing yesterday. Attorney drew up documents. The attorney provided instructions. Okay. If there are instructions provided, read the instructions, people. Okay. Excuse me. Once you get there and you're in front of the signer, get the ID. Okay. Don't just start signing the documents. You want to ID these signers and you want to make sure that this is inputted in your journal. Start your journal entry. Okay. If there are any discrepancies, make sure they contact the people that they're working with. Okay. Before you get to their house, you should have already thoroughly looked through the documents. I know sometimes with signings, you may get the documents last minute and it doesn't leave a whole lot of time to go through them. But if you do have time, go through the documents that you printed to make sure that they all printed correctly. Make sure you have all the pages there. Okay. Because I know you're like, well, sometimes I don't have the time. Yeah, but sometimes the printer can mess up documents. What if you have blank pages in there and you're missing documents? You would hate to get all the way to the person's home and be missing documents. So review the documents, make sure they're all printed correctly. Okay. If, like I said, you're doing the signing and you're going through all the documents and there's a pause, the signer has questions. What are we going to do? If the information is already there, we can show them where to find that answer. For example, they're signing, well, can you tell me when will be my first payment due date? And then how much is it going to be per month? Okay. You don't have to have them call anyone for that. It's in the paperwork. Just locate where it is and you can point and show it to them. Okay. We don't want to staple anything to these documents. Okay. So if you are going through the documents, and this does happen a lot, and you come across the certificates for the notary, they're not state compliant, so you're going to have to add a certificate. Do not staple it. We don't want to staple the documents. You could do a paper clip, but do not staple and alter documents. The reason being is because if they need to um, separate the documents to go to different respective departments, we don't want them sitting there removing staples, okay? So paper clips are okay. Stapling is not. If you have to make an error correction, which this does happen too, you want to make sure that we're not scribbling. We're drawing a line. Either the signer's putting their initials if there's something they had to correct, or you're putting your initials. Okay. But any errors and corrections that need to be made, you need to make sure you strike a line through, put your initials or their initials. Okay. Always maintain professionalism when you are going through and doing these signings, because if you're not representing yourself, that means you're representing another company. You don't want to make them look bad. Okay. And furthermore, you want them to hire you again for more work. Okay. So show up, be prepared, facilitate the closing, and then you're done. Okay. If they need scans, do not request more money for scan backs. Oh my God, guys. You don't need to request scan backs. If you are doing a signing, most times they want you to make sure you print 2 copies. You don't need to ask for more money for that. Paper is literally not that much money. All right. It does not cost that much money to print a second copy to give to your signers. Okay. There's there's one signing company that's making you sign a page stating that you did provide a second copy to the signers. Okay. So you can't lie about this. Okay. They're going to ask the signers. So provide the second copy. Make sure you leave it with them. Now, what I like to do is I put the second copy in a manila folder. I used to put the sticker that I used to make on there that says, "Thank you for working with me. Please scan the QR code to leave a review for your notary." But lately, as of late, I've just been paper clipping my business card to it and just leaving it with them like that. I may do that next year, but as of yet, I haven't done it again. I need to reprint them. All right. So that is all I have for the facilitating real estate closing. Like I said, guys, it's not hard. We're not supposed to go in there being like this huge knowledge base to know what every document is, okay, in the closing package. Our job is to make sure they sign, make sure they are supposed to be signing, right? We want to make sure we're identifying them, making sure you keep track of everything you notarize in your journal. You don't need to keep track of everything they sign. You need to keep track of everything you notarize in your journal. Hi, Jay. Did anybody have any questions about doing real estate closings? I know you're like, well, I want you to go through so I'll go through a package on another video, but tonight we're just talking about the basics of how to facilitate a real estate closing. We're just there to have them sign, initial, and we're also there to would they have it stated in the instructions if a second copy is needed. No, they most times they don't. But have I seen it? I have seen it, but we're always supposed to provide a second copy. Not only is providing a second copy good for the signer, but let's just say you get there and you make a mistake and you don't have any room to correct it and do it again. You can pull the copy from theirs and swap them because they just need the copies of what they signed. You need to send back clean executed copies to whoever hired you. Okay. I'm gonna show you guys. Mystic Soul Vine was asking, will it be stated in the instructions if a second copy is needed? Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. You're welcome. Okay. Did anybody have any other questions about real estate signings? And based on what the book, because like I said, I'm not gonna go through a closing package with you right now. I'm gonna do that on another video by itself because I definitely want to make sure that I go through each page so that you guys can see. Oh my God, yes. Stephanie said when facilitating a signing, she makes sure all drinks and food are off the table and the table is clean. Yes, guys. So sometimes when you do go to these houses, everybody may not have a clean space for you. And they always, well, I won't say always, but people always offer me drinks. And I always decline because you don't want those documents getting wet. Okay. You don't want food on the documents. And if they're eating, I would kindly ask them if they could please refrain from doing that so that they don't get any oil or anything on the documents. We need these documents to be clean and I need to send these back. Okay. So please refrain from eating and drinking. That goes for you guys too. No eating and drinking at the table while you're signing. Do I have any other questions? Move this boom on my way. No? All right. We're going to go on to page 69. And I get these questions all the time, so I'm really glad we're going over this on live. Starting a business, Notary Edition. I was just talking to one of my members about this, and you know, it is, what's the word I'm looking for? For some reason, people think that when they're purchasing these courses, because I have courses too, so I'm not talking about anybody who has them, but people think when they purchase these courses that they're automatically going to just start making money. The money's just going to fall in their lap. That's not how it works, okay? There are a lot of courses out here that can help you, but you have to do the work that they're telling you to do. If you don't do the work that they have for you to do in the courses, you're not going to be successful. Okay? You just buying the course, that's not going to get you money. You have to do the work. And the work that they're telling you to do, it works. But if you don't do anything with that information, you're not going to make any money. It's not going to work for you. All right? So I just want to put that out there. Now, when you are starting a business, the first thing that you want to do is you want to think of what you're going to call your business. If you're not going to go by your name, you're obviously going to call it something, right? You got to think about what you want to call your business. The most important thing you want to consider when naming your business is making sure that you have some keywords in your business title. This helps tremendously with SEO, guys. Okay. If you're unfamiliar with that, that's search engine optimization. That means that when a person types into the internet search bar that they're looking for notary services or a notary near them, it definitely gets you higher up in the search when you have those keywords in your business name. Okay, this is a fact. All right, so you just can't be um, professional and management services. That has nothing to do with notary, even though that's probably all you do is notary. But what is that going to do for you in the search engine when they're looking for a notary? Probably not a lot. Okay, so that's something you want to think of. Also, when you're doing a business search, you want to check online and social media and domains. You're checking online with your state because you're going to have to register that business name if you're going to be going by a business name, right? You got to look on there, do a business search to make sure nobody else is using that business name in your state. They can be using this business name in another state, but they can't be using it in your state. So you got to look it up. Another thing you want to do is you want to search for the domain. Make sure that whatever you're going to create your domain as, make sure that's not being used. Okay. When I first started my business, there's a business called B&E Notary Services. So when I first started, I wanted my domain to be benotary.com, right? Because I wanted it to be as short as possible. That's easy for people to remember. But when I looked it up, B&E Notary Services already has that domain on lock. So I couldn't use it. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, well, what can I name my domain? So I typed in BE Notary Services and it was available. So I jumped right on it. Okay. So I saw that BLE's Notary Services was available. It was not being used. BE Notary Services domain was available. But before I could move further, I had to pause. I got to look on social media because you want to make sure that your business and social media handle match, right? So now I'm searching BE Notary. B&E Notary Services has that handle on lock, so I can't use it. So I typed in BE Notary Services, all one word, that was available on social media. Now that I've done all my checks, let's go ahead and start locking down that name before somebody else gets it. I register the business, wait till they get approved. Okay, you can't just apply for a business and then start using the business name everywhere. Apply with your state. Make sure you get approved to use that business name. When you get that paperwork back, now that I got it back, I'm approved. Now I can go to my domain. I use GoDaddy.com. I purchased BENotaryServices.com. Now I can go to social media, create my business pages, and put my social media handle, BE Notary Services. Okay. Now I got all of BE Notary Services on lock. Nobody else can use it. Okay. So that's the business name search. Also, when you're thinking about registering, you want to think of what structure. Okay. Do you want to do a fictitious name, which is doing business as? Do you want to do an LLC? Do you want to do a corporation? Do you want to do a partnership? Okay. Those are some things that I can't help you choose. Okay. You have to decide what entity works better for you. How do you decide that? Ask an accountant or a tax preparer. They'll help you decide and they'll tell you what your options are. You could also look online. I Googled it. You could also speak to an attorney. Okay. Now, okay, Jay. Now that you've gotten all that done, you could apply for your EIN, okay? Do not apply for your EIN before you get approval that you can use your business name, okay, in your state. Applying for an EIN is free. It's free, okay? You just go to irs.gov and type in the search EIN or employer identification number. Why do you want to get an EIN number? You want your business to be a separate entity. That's why you registered it, right? So in order for it to be its own entity, you want it to have its own ID number. Just like you have a social security number, the EIN is the social security number for your business. All right. So apply for it and get it. Answer the questions. Make sure that you spell your business name correctly. Perfect, Mystic Solvi. So she said that she made that mistake with her first business. She's now coming up with a short name with SEO in mind. Perfect. So after you apply for your EIN number, whenever you file taxes, you're going to use that EIN number to file taxes with, okay? Remember, if you make, I think it is $600 in a year, you do have to file taxes with your business, okay? Or for your business, whatever. Now, you got your business registered, you got your EIN number. Now you need to go ahead and research banks because you're going to need a business checking account. I highly recommend that you open a business checking account. There are several banks and credit unions that offer free business checking accounts, okay? They usually come with really good perks. So do your research in your area. Okay. I bank with Space Coast Credit Union. I really like them. Not only do they offer free checking, but they also offer business advisor. Okay. Because you're a business and they want to help you to be successful with managing your business, operating it, and they will try to get you approved for business credit so that you can use the business credit to take care of your expenses and not worry about all of your money coming in from your business going towards expenses. Okay. So do your research and see what bank works for you, but you do need to have your business registration paperwork and your EIN number paperwork with you when you go to open up this business checking account. Okay. Now that you've done that, you want to create business listings and pages. Okay. This is super important for marketing. Nobody's going to know what you do, when you do it, and how if you don't have these local business listings. Okay. And they're all free. Okay. So everybody should know about Google Business Profile. All you have to do is go on there and apply for it. They do take you through a verification process. Some of them are making you do a video now. I've had my business page for a while and that wasn't one of the options, so I'm surprised. But they have you do video now, or they have it where they mail you a postcard to your address. Okay. So you need to do one of those. Now, sometimes they'll suspend your page and you got to get it unsuspended. And what you have to do is you have to fill out a form. Okay. And then they're going to ask you to produce some documentation just to make sure that you're legit. Sometimes it takes them a while to unsuspend your account, so you just got to keep at them. Okay, that happened to me before where my account got suspended, and I just kept at them, and it took like a week or two, but my page got unsuspended. All right, so don't worry, just reach out to them. They're busy. It's not like they're sitting there doing nothing. Okay, so they are busy, but reach back out to them and see what you need to do. Sometimes they may want you to. Yes, Jay, I love Space Coast. I've had them for years. Sometimes they may want you to produce your corporation paperwork, which is your business registration paperwork you get from the state. You can just go right on the business website and print it out. Well, not business website, the state website, and print it out. If you're in Florida, we have SunBiz. You can just go on there, print out that document, and or download it and email it to Google Business Profile. Okay, they're really cracking down on people just opening up business pages and they're not really a business. Okay. So this is why a lot of people pages may not be getting approved as it used to be back in the day. So create these business pages. Google My Business, Yelp. There are also local directories and Bing. Okay, so you have the local notary directories too, but Google My Business, Bing, Places, and Yelp. Those are all free. Yes, I'm aware that Yelp will call you like crazy trying to sell you updates on your page. Your page do better if you spend $300. Stop calling me. Not interested. I tell them that. And I told them, take me off your call list. Do not call me. I am not interested in paying for anything. I want my page to remain free. Well, your page will do better. I don't care. Stop calling me. Um, Google My Business does not call and harass you that way, and Bing Places does not either. Okay. So make sure you create a page with those. Make sure everything that you create online for your business is all the same. Okay. I can't tell you how confusing it is for the algorithm when all of your pages do not match. You want to make sure all of the services are the same. Want to make sure your operating hours are the same across the board. Make sure your business name is the same across the board. Your address, your phone number, all of that should be the same on all of your business pages, guys. Okay. This makes it easy so that when people type in your business name, you'll come up everywhere. If you type in my business name, I'm literally everywhere. I have a very strong online presence, and it took a very long time for me to get that. But I had to make sure that everything was the same across the board. Okay. There are several notary directories that you can be listed on for business, and you want to make sure that you're going on there regularly and updating your information. Even if you don't need to update your information, sign in, okay? Because you want your account to show active. If you've signed in a year ago, it's going to show inactive, and then you're probably not going to get a lot of notifications when there's work in your area. All right. Purchase domain and email. Everybody who has a business should have a business email. What does that mean? That means that your business name is in your email or your website domain is in your email. Okay. We don't want Gmail. We don't want Hotmail. We don't want Yahoo. That is not professional. Okay. Now you can use that for personal. Like if I have someone sending me something personally for my business, I may have them email me at benotaryservices@gmail.com. But you are going to have to create a Gmail for your business because it's going to be connected to your Google My Business. All right, so it's going to give you the opportunity to create the page. Okay, you don't want to create a business page with your personal email because if somebody messages you on your Google business profile, it's going to go to your business Gmail email. Okay, but on your page, you don't want to list the Gmail, you want to list the business email. So on my profile, there's my business email, which is info@benotaryservices.com. Okay. So for those of you who are using Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, please invest in having a professionally facing email for your business. Okay. GoDaddy.com is where you can get one. Um, Zoho Mail. And there's another one. I don't know it off the top of my head. If any of you are using any type of service to where you're using a professional email with your domain, just drop it in the chat for other people to know. But those are the two I could think of right off the top of my head. You want to choose a host for your website. You should have a website. Okay. A lot of people, including yourselves, probably don't like doing business with people if you see that they don't have a website. Am I wrong? As soon as I Google a business and I see they don't have a website, that just makes me not want to work with them. It just does. I don't know why. But I feel like every business is supposed to have a website. I mean, why are you in business if you don't have a website, right? Next, since you got all of your business affairs in order now, you want to start marketing, right? But before that, you need to conduct a market analysis. You don't want to just be marketing about any and everything and to any and everybody. You need to decide what is your target audience? Who are the people who you want to get business from? Okay, that's your target audience. What are other notaries doing in your area? What other services are they providing? You like to know. It's important because if you decide to offer these services, you want to see how can you become more competitive so that people want to also use you for those services. Okay? Very important. You want to know what are the hours that other notaries are operating because maybe you can be competitive and operate out during hours that they're not. Maybe you can offer extended hours or open earlier than they do. Okay. Um, Another thing is prices. You know, what are the going prices in the area? I know here in Florida, the most we can charge for one stamp is $10, and that's for one notary act. That does not mean that we have to charge $10. We can charge less than that. We can even offer free, but we can't go over it. So if you see other notaries, they're saying they're offering notary for $7, don't get mad at them. Okay? They're just doing what Walmart did to Target. They're offering competitive pricing so that they can be competitive in the market. All right? And this is something that you want to do. You want to analyze your service area. Okay, let's say you're going to be servicing a few areas. You want to look at a few notaries in that area and see what they're doing. Okay, almost every notary has a website, and those who don't, you can give them a call. You can give them a call, and you know, don't call and say that you're a notary, but you can call and say, hey, I want to get something notarized. What is your fee? This is where I'm located. Okay, thank you, and then that's it. Okay. Next, you want to create a marketing plan. Now that you've done your market analysis, now you can create a marketing plan. You know what your target audience is, you know what services you want to provide, you know what hours you want to be open, and you know what fees you want to push out there. So now let's create a marketing plan. What are my service areas? What do I want my customers to know about me? What do I want my target audience to know when they decide to work with me? Okay, these are all things that you want to put down on paper and then you want to put it into motion. I'm going to stop there because I've given you guys a whole lot of information. Does anybody have any questions? Nobody has questions? So everything I just talked about, you guys are cool with. Everybody understands. We're on the same page. Okay. How do you conduct a market analysis? So you want to look at your service area and you want to research all of the different notaries in the area. You want to see what they're doing, what they're charging, what time are they open, what services are they providing to different areas. Okay. You also want to look up and see what what is the demographic in your area. Okay. Do you have um, a lot of older populated people? Do you have a lot of families? Do you have um, a lot of people around your age? That makes a difference because certain people have different notary needs depending on the demographic and what they got going on. Do you have a lot of attorneys in the area? Do you have a lot of title companies, real estate? Like, you need to know all of this because all of these are your target audience. And you need to decide how you want to appeal to them. Okay. And everybody should have their own brand and style of how they want others to look at them in their business. So that is something that you would have to decide. But that is how you conduct a market analysis. Okay. Well, it's a step-by-step process. I do believe that I have a step-by-step document that I saved in the Facebook group on how to do a market analysis and how to do a marketing plan in general. So, Jay, you don't need a registered agent. What state are you in? If you're in Florida, you could be your own registered agent. You don't need a registered agent. A registered agent is the person who applies for your business registration and reminds you when you need to renew it. That's it. They're the person who receives your paperwork when it gets sent to you. So you could be your own registered agent. They're just going to be the registered agent. If you want it to be a separate person, that person is going to be receiving your information for your registration in your business, for your renewals, your annuals, any correspondence that the city or state needs to give you for your business. That's what the registered agent does. So you can be your own registered agent. You do not need a registered agent. Okay, so you're in Florida just like I am. You could be your own registered agent. You just put your name down and your address. Some people use a registered agent because they don't want to put their address online because it's public record. Okay. If that is the case, you can get a virtual address. I have a virtual mailbox, and that's the address that I use. So my business information gets mailed there. If you look my business up online, you'll see my business mailing address. Did that answer your question, Jay? You're welcome. A lot of people use attorneys for their registered agent as well. So if that's just something you want to do, you may want to find a small business attorney that does that. I got my virtual address through Anytime Mailbox. I think I pay $13 a month. And that's because I have more than one business going to the mailbox. But for one business, I think I was paying $7.99 or $6.99. It's not expensive at all. Yeah, it will come up as a PO box. But um, what some people do to avoid that is, okay, Jay, good. What some people do to avoid that is they list the address of the post office and then they put unit number their PO box. But I'm not sure um, if that still works. I know some people did used to do that. But I like the virtual address because my virtual mailbox is right across the street from my house. So I can literally walk there. Why couldn't we use Anytime Mailbox? I use it. That is my address listed for my business. Is the real address. So I know when you register for your business, you cannot use a PO box. You have to use a real address. And so that's what I have. I have a real address and it goes to my virtual mailbox that is physically located across the street from me. So I walk over there and I get my mail. All right. So we're going to continue on. So next, you want to set up your business operations. All right. You want to make sure that you know how you want to operate. When customers call you, what is going to be your process? That's something you want to really think about because you don't want to be all over the place when customers call you. Okay. Customer call me, let me know they need my service. Okay, good. I can help you with that. What day and what time do you want to get this done? Okay, let me go into my calendar and let me see if I have that available. All right, so I do have that available. Let me get some information from you so I can go ahead and lock you in for this appointment date and time. I need your name, I need your email, I need your phone number. Or if they're calling you from is this the phone number? The phone number that you're calling me from is a good number for me to call you back on if I need to. Yes, it is. Okay. You said you wanted me to notarize so and so documents. Are you the only signer? Will there be other signers? Okay. Do you have valid identification? Okay, perfect. I take card or cash. And please make sure you bring all the documents to me. If they need to be filled out, please fill them out beforehand. Do not sign them. All right. Do you have any questions? All right. Well, I will see you on this date and time. Thank you. Bye. That's something that you need to think about and already have established. Okay. Next, how are you going to take payments? I take card and cash. Okay. You need to research the different payment processors and see which one fits your needs. And that's the one you need to use. Okay. We're in a digital era. So just taking cash, that's not going to work. You need to be able to take credit card payments as well. Do not use Zelle, do not use Apple Pay unless you're using Apple Pay through a credit card processing software. Um, do not use Venmo unless you're using the business Venmo. And please do not use Cash App. Okay. I know people are like, well, I don't want to pay the fees. Then you don't want to be in business because the cost to do business is going to cost you some fees. That is what we call expenses. That is what we write off for taxes when we file. Okay. The most important thing that you need to do when you are having a business is you want to be able to protect your customers' information. Using software that is not safe, and we all know that Cash App is not safe, okay? We've heard the horror stories. You don't want your customers' information getting hacked because you want to be a cheapskate and use Cash App, okay? Use professional payment processors. Yes, you're going to have to pay a fee. You can write that fee off when you pay for taxes. All right. You get credits back for that stuff. Okay. So that is my recommendation. I know everybody is going to set their business up the way that they want to. I just do not recommend that you try to go the free route and compromise your customers' private and personal information. Okay. After you've done that, you've decided how you're going to take payments. You want to have some type of accounting software. Okay. You want to keep track of all of your earnings. You want to keep track of all of your expenses. This is super important for when it's time for you to file taxes. It's also super important for those of you who want to keep track of how much you're making. Okay. Because when you market, you're going to get business. You want to know how well business is doing. So you need to keep up with how much money you're making because that's going to let you know if business is doing great or if business is doing bad. All right. So research the different accounting software and pick one that works for you. All right. Another thing you want to do is have a fee schedule. Okay, I know a lot of notaries, they don't like to list their fees because they don't want other notaries to know how much they charge. That's a big load of crap. Okay, you want to have transparency in your business for your customers. There should not be a secret how much you charge for services. They should be able to see what they're going to be paying for and work with you based on that and anything else that you're offering. All right, but if you are keeping the price a secret, then it leads one to believe that you are charging all type of fees all over the place based on how you feel any day. And that's not good for business. All right. So come up with a fee schedule, have your fee schedule public so that your customers know what they're paying for your services. Okay. Doesn't matter if other notaries see it. Walmart is not worried about Target seeing what they charge for their products and vice versa. Trust me. All right. Now that we've done that, it's time to get business cards. All right. Your business card should be sleek and professional. Okay. That's it. You should not have your business card looking like this. All that information on there, on that little bitty card. If you want to give more information, you need to have a brochure. I printed this out on regular paper. This is regular paper, guys. I made it on Canva and I printed it out front and back and I folded it myself. Okay. It shows everything that I offer. You do not need to have that on the business card. The business card is only for contact information and social media. That's it. Please do not busy up your credit card. Business card. I say credit card. Do not busy up your business card. Okay, trying to make it look like a miniature size flyer. That's what they have flyers for, and brochures and postcards. Okay, but get your business card and carry them with you wherever you go. I always have mine in my bag because you never know who you're going to run into who may need a card so they can contact you for services. Okay. All right. So what is, hold on, 74. What is 74? Did you guys have any questions about that? Yes, that is important to keep your credit card as simple as possible. All right. I don't know why I still have, let me see. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. So I started talking about notary supplies again for general notary, notary supplies for signing agent. I'm not going to read that off. If you have the book, you can read that. Now, The reason why I just went over those processes with you is because, guys, it's super important to have well established business operations. Okay. You do not want to be all over the place with this. And it's so important for you to get this figured out before you start taking business. Okay. You want to come off as being professional. You don't want to be on the phone tongue tied, tripping over your words because oh my God, I got a customer. Yeah, I charge $10. Yeah, I travel. I can travel. Yes. Okay. Where are you? Um, okay, maybe I can put the address down. Let me see. Oh yeah. Okay. So then I can make your appointment. Okay. Oh, what do I charge? Oh, so there's the stamp and then there's the travel and then I think I want to charge for oh, hello? Hello? They like, girl, let me call I'm gonna call somebody else. This lady don't know what she's talking about. So have your business operations and processes already wrote down. Okay. Practice with a friend. Make sure that you are coming off as professional as possible. You do not want to be stumbling and sound like you don't know what you're doing. You don't know if you're coming or going when you're on the phone. Okay, because first impressions are super important. Super important. Okay. You want to make sure that you have your processes as efficient as possible. Okay. I will tell you guys that this will save you the headache. Okay. Because it can be a headache when you don't have your processes in place and you're doing things double, triple, quadruple. I mean, it's a pain. So try your best to get things streamlined. Okay. Because you want it to be busy. I mean, not busy. You want life to be easy for you too. Not just the customer. I mean, we do want to make sure the customer has a hassle-free experience with us, but we want to make sure that we're not stressing ourselves out with the processes that we have in place too. Okay. Professionalism and customer satisfaction is super important to you. What? Getting repeat business. Okay. I went to a signing on, I think it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday. I went to this guy's house. And when I walked, he came to the door. And, when people come to the door, I greet them and I introduce myself right away. Hi, so and so, I'm Bergeau. How are you doing? And then I walk in the house and I'm like, hi, if anybody else is there. So where are we going to be sitting? So we can get these documents signed. Oh, over there. Okay. I go over there. I sit down. I start, getting all my stuff together out of my bag. And his partner was there and his partner had to go get his ID, and then he sat beside me, and he said, "You know what? You are just so." And he was trying to figure it out. He was like, "You just came in here so just upbeat, and then you just, standing tall." And I was like, "Confident." He was like, "Yes, confident. Like you were just so confident and so professional and so friendly." And then he went further into, and then look at what you're driving and all that stuff. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that I walked into the home, I introduced myself, I stood tall, I came in prepared, and I had everything. And signers, they notice that. They pay attention to us. So you got to make sure that you are confident in what you're doing and you have to take charge because people like to work with people who know how to take charge. Okay, the worst thing you can do is walk into someone's home and you let them take charge of everything because that's not how this is going to work. If you let them take charge of everything, you're going to be there way longer than you need to be. And if you got another appointment to get to, it's going to be a little tough. So you got to come in there and you got to demand the energy in the room. And you got to stand tall, like he said, be professional, be confident in your ability to perform your duty and just get it done. All right. And customers are satisfied with that. All right. Scalability and growth. Okay. And I'm going to read this paragraph. Establishing strong operational foundations sets you up for future growth and scalability. When your operations are well organized, it becomes easier to onboard new customers, um, train them because you're ideally train them. Customers who come to me, the first time. When they come a second time, they already know what they need to do and what I'm going to do. All right. So I'm training them in what it is that I expect from them, and they already know what to expect if they come to me again. And most of my customers, thankfully, do come back. Okay. This scalability allows you to expand your business operations smoothly without compromising on efficiency or customer satisfaction. That is a fact. All right. Compliance and risk management, super important because we're notaries, right? We need to stay well informed on any changes that occur in our state, especially when it comes to us performing our notarial duties. Thank you, Carter. All right. So, clear operational procedures help ensure compliance with legal and regulatory requirements specific to our industry. All right. And don't ever be afraid to educate your customers too. Perfect example. I had a signing yesterday. Um, the family found me on Google. They were selling a property. They wanted me to come to their home to do the closing. So I did. The attorney, he got back all the scans and he said, everything looks great, but I do not like that she added a loose certificate to page so and so. So it was 2 pages. He didn't want me to add a loose certificate. But the reason I added a loose certificate because the certificate that was already pre-printed on there was insufficient for Florida notaries. All right. The documents were drawn up in New York. And so the attorney, he gets upset and he says, well, if she can't do it the way that I told her to do it, then you guys should find another notary. Well, the family was not about to do that. They're like, no, we're not going to do that. We already paid her. So I said, look, this is what I can do. You said you got another copy of the documents. What I can do is I can come back and I can handwrite in all of the missing elements that are supposed to be present in the notary certificate so that I can perform a compliant notarization for you. It's not going to be as legible as a printed one, but it will be sufficient enough for me to be able to perform the notarization. Okay. So he was like, I don't care. You know what you're doing. So if you said you can do that and that'll work, that's fine. I just want to get this sent over to him next week. And so I'm like, fine. So I come and I handwrite in all the missing elements. It was missing the venue. It was missing who the signers were. It was missing how they produce identification for satisfactory evidence of identity. And then it had nowhere for me to sign. So I had to handwrite all of that information in there and then squeeze my little mini stamp in the very tight spot that was available afterwards. It was a pain, but I got it done because the last thing I want to do is try to argue with somebody that I'm right when the only thing that is important is that my customers are able to get done what they needed to get done. All right. So at the end of the day, customer satisfaction wins. Okay. I'm not about to delay their process to prove that I know what I'm talking about. He's a New York attorney. I'm a Florida notary. He knows what to do in his jurisdiction. I know what to do in mine. Right. Next, financial control and accuracy. This is why you need to have bookkeeping software. You also need to be able to offer invoicing. We need to be offering itemized invoices to our customers. We should not just be invoicing them $100 and not letting them know why it's $100. They should be able to click into the invoice and see, oh, that's her travel. Oh, the stamps. Oh, yeah, she was here for about an hour and a half. So I'm comfortable with paying this. Then you just give a person $100. Well, what does this include? Well, I was there for this time and I did travel this miles and oh, we did so many stamps. And yeah, so what? You need to be professional. Have it already explained out in the invoice so they don't have to ask you any questions. They already see what that $100 includes, and all they need to know is how you want me to pay you. You can either click on the invoice right there and pay, or you can give me cash. I don't accept checks unless I'm working with clients, which means a signing service or an attorney or um, the automotive signing service I work for. Okay, those are the only ones that can pay me by check. I don't take checks from personal customers. Okay. and you should be able to take the card if they're giving you a card right then and there. I do have tap to pay because I use Stripe. So if they're using their wallet, the digital wallet on their phone, they could just tap my phone and it will pay. Excuse me. And even with the tap to pay, it doesn't allow me to itemize, but it gives me a note section. So what I do is I type out everything and put a dollar amount with it. So that way, when they get the receipt, they can still see what they paid for and what that total came to. All right. Adaptability and continuity. Once you start doing business, guys, you're going to start adapting to the environment around you. Okay. And that is how you're going to keep continue business. Okay. Let's just say you decided, I don't want to take cards, but you started servicing customers and you started realizing many of them don't carry cash. So now you got to adapt. You got to start offering credit cards. Um, I wasn't offering tap to pay. So I had a customer I did a wedding for, and he was like, "You don't have tap to pay?" And I was like, "No, I don't. You would have to go into the invoice on your email and pay." He was like, "Well, I can't get into my email. So, I mean, that doesn't make sense. You should have tap to pay." And I'm like, "Well, I apologize if it's an inconvenience, but I do take cash." And then so he finally was able to get into his email and pay the invoice, but he definitely voiced how upset he was about the fact that I didn't offer tap to pay. So what do you think that I did? Instead of me saying, well, whatever, I adapted because I don't want another customer to ever have to go through that and be upset with me just because I don't offer the capability of tap to pay. So I looked into it and now I have tap to pay. And I do have quite a bit of customers that use it. So I was able to adapt and I'm continuing on with my business. And that's what you will have to do moving forward. Once you start doing business and you start seeing things are different than the way you thought they were going to be, adapt to them. See how you can do a workaround or whatever, implement it into your business, and then do it because the one thing we all want when we go into business is to have continued business. Okay. Further talks about invoicing. Oh, customer relationship management. Okay. This is super important for when you want to send out emails to your customers. Let's just say you're running a promotion, right? But you're not keeping any of your customers' information. Well, when you are using accounting software and invoicing software, that is also a customer relationship management system within, and you will be saving your customer's name and their email and their phone number. When you have promotions going on, or if you want to um, send out emails where you're communicating with your customers, you will already have all their information because it will be saved in a secure database called the Customer Relationship Management. Okay. This is super important for your business if you want to keep communication open with your customers so that one, you stay top of mind whenever they need a notary, and two, you could always reach out to them when you have anything going on. Like, for example, I have an event coming up in January, and I want my customers to know that they can come or have their family members come and meet me at the event and get their documents notarized. Okay. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't have them saved in my customer relationship management software. Okay. Payment processing, we already talked about that. We talked about accounting, the CRM. We did talk about the importance of you having a fee schedule and making sure that it's public so your customers can see what they're paying. Okay. Adaptability and flexibility. We talked about that. I did talk about state mandated fees. You definitely want to familiarize yourself with your fees, okay, for your state. I know a lot of people they see, well, notaries are charging $60. Excuse me. We can only charge $10 a stamp. How are they doing that? Because people are including in that $60 their travel fee and their time. Okay. If your state doesn't mandate that, you can charge for that. That is separate from the notarization. Okay. The state only mandates what you can charge for your notary fee in Florida, anyway. I don't know about any other state. And there are some states, unfortunately, that do mandate how much you could charge for travel, but Florida isn't one of them. So I can charge whatever I feel comfortable with charging for my travel. I also can charge whatever I feel comfortable with for my time. Now, what I do for my time is I've Googled, and what is the notary salary in Florida? Okay. And it came up, and then I narrowed it down to my area. In my area in Florida, how much does a notary make per hour? And it told me. So I used that as my hourly rate. So, like, for example, yesterday, I was at an assisted living place doing a closing, and I was there for like an hour and a half. So, in order for me to be able to account for the minutes, I just broke it down by I divide that hour by 60, and it tells me how much I charge per minute. So, I was there for 90 minutes. Okay. So, I just do the math. I add that to my travel fee. I add that to my notarization fee. And then it was multiple signers. So then I added my additional signer fee. And then I come up with a grand total. So when I went there, my fee is not just the notarization fee, it's every other service I provided. I provided my time, I provided my travel, I assisted another signer. So that's how they got up to that $60. All right. It's just not for the notarization. There's other things included. And that's what you want to consider when you're coming up with your own fee schedule. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, so in having a business, you got to have protection for yourself. Okay. There are notaries who have only purchased a bond and they don't have errors and omissions insurance. That is scary. Okay. You need to be able to protect yourself. The notary bond does not protect you, it protects the signers only, it protects the public. Errors and omissions insurance protects us. Okay. And then not only that, if you are going into people's home, you want to have professional liability insurance because errors and omissions insurance is not going to cover you if you go into somebody's home and you break something. All right. And I know that some of you are like, I don't have professional liability insurance. Yeah. So errors and omissions insurance only covers you if you make an error or omission on the documents that you're notarizing. Okay. So if you go in somebody's home, make sure you don't break anything, don't knock anything over. There was a story some years ago. A notary ran into somebody's mailbox and knocked it over. Errors and omissions is definitely not going to cover that. So you want to acquire professional liability insurance to protect you if you damage anybody's goods while or property, I'm sorry, while you're in their home. Okay. Now, when you have a bond, if anything is challenged in court regarding your duties, the bond is going to cover the public and you have to pay that bond back. Excuse me. So this is why you need errors and omissions insurance because errors and omissions insurance will cover the cost of the bond and you don't have to pay the errors and omissions insurance back. I recommend a minimum of 250,000 for errors and omissions insurance. I have 1 million, but at minimum, signing services are looking for 250,000 if you're working with a signing service. All right, so that's bond, E&O, and professional liability insurance. All right. Let's see. I'm just looking to see what I want to talk about here. All right. So, in doing marketing, you also would benefit from attending networking events. Hold on. I'm going to sleep so good tonight off of that. You're welcome, Mystic Soulvine. Networking events is super important for you to get out there and meet people. I can't stress enough how important it is for people to feel comfortable with working with you. It's way different than you just making a call, doing an email, sending a postcard. People want to feel comfortable knowing that they know who they're working with, feel comfortable with sending their customers to you. So going to networking events, you get a chance to meet people when they want to meet you. Okay. If you try to call them, you try to visit their office, you don't know what they got going on. So you may be meeting them at a bad time. But when you go to networking events, people are coming to networking events to meet you too. Okay. So get out there. Networking events are going on all the time. Okay. How do you find them? Social media, Eventbrite. Type in your zip code in your area and see what networking events are going on. And I know there are some that go on during the week in the morning, and for people who work, that may not work. But they also have after hour events. So maybe you can schedule to go to one of those. And most of the times they're free. Just make sure when you go, you have a handful of business cards and you are ready to talk. All right. And know what you're talking about. I can't tell you how many people I've met at networking events, and they have met notaries who don't even know what they're talking about. And I'm like, really? That's just weird. But yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. They'll ask some questions and they're kind of like, well, and kind of talking around the question, but not really answering the question. I run into that a lot. So don't be that person. If you're out here trying to get business as a notary, be prepared to answer questions. Most people, they ask, "What do a notary do?" I don't understand why they don't know what we do, but they don't. Tell them what you do. Tell them what different services you provide. Tell them what areas you service. Um, Let them know your availability. They're going to exchange a card with you, and don't forget to ask them what they do. I don't know about you, but I love talking. So when I see people, as soon as you lock eye contact with me, I'm coming in. All right, I'm coming in to talk to you, introducing myself. What do you do? Or if they have it on their side, "Oh, I see you do so and so. How does that work?" Or, "How'd you get into that? What made you interested in that? Was somebody in your family who did it?" I know how to strike up conversations, so it's easy for me. But for those of you where it's not easy, you definitely want to start off with asking them about themselves. Once they start talking and telling you what they do, it may make you start feeling a little bit more comfortable, let your guard down a little bit, and then you'll be willing to talk about what you do. Okay. Now you may have somebody who catch you first and say, "Hey, oh, you're a notary. So what is that like?" Um, so just be ready to talk about notary. Okay. If I don't talk about nothing else, I can talk about notary, guys. I love being a notary. So hopefully the feeling is mutual. All right. Get out to networking events. See, get down. Get down. Oh my God. This is Princess, guys. Say hi, Princess. Go ahead and say hi. All right. So it's super important for you when you go to these networking events that you be prepared to build relationships. Okay. Even if they can't use you, take their card. You may be able to refer them to someone as well. And that's how the business relationships start to evolve. When you meet people at networking events, they start to build trust with you and you gain credibility with them just because you took out the time to come out there and talk to them and learn about them. And people, they just trust and feel comfortable with people that they can talk and eat and drink with. That is just a known fact. Okay. When you decide to go to networking events, don't just go with networking in mind. Try to find networking events where you're going to learn something. Okay. Who can't stand to learn something new that's going to help you in your business? And it may not even be notary related. It doesn't have to be. I go to learning events all the time, just learning how to be a better business owner, learning how to sell better, or I don't know, just anything business related. I'm super interested in learning. So I'll go and I'll sit there. Most times I'm the only notary there. and people will surround me and talk to me and grab my card. And I have gotten business from those networking events. I have gotten referred to other people simply by meeting people at networking events. I've invited them out to lunch, or I've been invited to lunch, or I've been invited to their events that they host. So, networking events, they work. You really should take the time and attend one. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else that I want to reference? It is not. All right. So the rest of the information that is in this guide, if you have the book, you can read it. Okay. Um, did you guys have any questions about what we talked about? We did guide 2A and 3. The next guide is 4. What did you guys think about guide 2A and 3? Did it help answer some questions that you may have had beforehand? Did you learn anything new tonight? No, my cat. Okay, Stephanie. Stephanie was saying she has a question about the professional liability insurance. Did anybody else have questions about professional liability insurance? No? Okay. For those of us that are mobile notaries, what do you suggest we do about auto insurance? Um, because I am not an auto insurance pro, I suggest that you contact your insurance, your auto insurance, and see if there's anything that you need to add as far as that goes, because I haven't changed my auto insurance. Good, Jay. I'm happy to hear that. I definitely want to make sure you guys are getting something from this. Right. Yeah, I would definitely ask. And if you learn anything new, please let me know, because I have not asked about that. You're welcome, Stephanie. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any questions, you're free to go. Thank you so much for joining me tonight as we review my book. And I will definitely let you guys know when we're going to review Guide 4 in the book, okay? So I'll see you guys on Monday for our weekly Q&A. You guys have a good night. Bye.